Hello, it's Peter Wright and Kathleen Beauvais with another weekly wrap-up for the Yakking Show. We're here to tell you what happened this week on the Yakking Show. And we're talking about the week ending Friday, the 10th of May, 2024. The years are galloping by. And as nice as it is to see the long days in spring, I mean, the sun is up before I walk at 6:15 in the morning. But the horrifying reality is that we're only 6 weeks away from our longest day, and then the days start getting shorter again. I can't believe it. What a
Gosh,
but the
you.
but I noticed on my walk this morning the lilacs are blooming. One of my neighbors has a purple or mauve and a white one side by side. Look quite nice, and my one in my garden, purple, is blooming. So spring is in the air. Anyway, that's enough of that. Let's welcome Kathleen, our co-host. Hi, Kathleen. How are you doing today?
I'm doing great, Peter. I'm doing great.
Good. Have you got a cat tip for everybody today, haven't
Oh,
you?
I do actually. It's kind of an interesting one for those of you who
Mm.
are uh, feline fans. According to Japanese folklore, a cat once waved its paw at a nobleman, beckoning him to enter a house moments before he would have been struck by lightning. This is why cats symbolize good luck in Japan.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Interesting.
yeah.
Interesting. The only time our cats wave their paw at me is if they want petting or they want food. That's about it. So,
Or possibly they want to swat you.
oh yeah, that too. So now, let's move on and tell you what happened this week on the Yakking Show. So on Tuesday, we published episode number 308, and our guest was Dr. Fane Fry, who is a dermatologist and very knowledgeable lady about moisturizers. And she refutes the idea of anti-aging or anti-wrinkle creams. She tells our audience why you can't stop aging, but you can protect your skin and prevent the worst effects of aging. And she goes into a lot of detail of what you should look for on moisturizer. And she convinced me. I've never used sunscreen in my life. I think maybe once. And I'm a prime example of what happens when you don't look after your skin, with all the skin cancers I had and the terrible state of my skin. So she persuaded me that even as a man, I should be using a moisturizer. So I have to confess I have started doing that. So quite amazing. Anyway, what did you think about Fane Fry, Kathleen?
Well, what was also interesting is that people, especially women, will pay a fortune, a small
Mm.
fortune on face creams. And there's a lot of different brands out there claiming to have the latest technology and what have you in skincare. But she says there's a lot of over-the-counter products, things that you would buy at the drugstore and that are work better and are equally effective. So, and she provides a list of all of those products. So
Hmm.
you might want to tune in for that.
Yeah, no, she was good.
Mhm.
Then let's tell you who's coming next week. Next week we have another interesting lady guest. It'll be Pat Wetzel from where's Pat from? Arizona, if I remember correctly. And she's had some real ups and downs in her life, and she got over them. She's also an author. She's published a book called Bump in the Road, and she has an unusual hobby that you don't hear about a lot. Uh, but we'll leave you. You've got to watch the episode to learn more about her unusual hobby. It's an interesting episode coming up next week. And then we have many more interesting guests. I'll just run through a couple. We don't normally do this, but I thought it might be an idea to give you a heads up. On the 21st of May, we'll have Fiona Demark all the way from New Zealand. And she also has a very interesting hobby, but you've got to watch the episode to find out about that. Then we have Patrick Dawson the week after that talking about minimalist life, and he's has quite a tale to tell about his adventures as well. And then Terry Tucker on the 4th of June. Very interesting and very varied career, the things he's been up to. And he will tell you how to improve the quality of your life. And yeah, he's going to be good. And there's more coming after that, but that's just to whet your appetite for what we've got now. So that's what's been happening on the show. Now it's over to Kathleen to talk about health.
Well, Peter, this is quite interesting. I was reading this article because, as you probably have heard, you know, um, Ozempic is a drug that's been prescribed for adults with type 2 diabetes. It's an injectable. It's a once weekly injectable drug to help adults control their blood sugar levels. But as with all drugs, there's always, some side effects. And one of the side effects to this particular drug is, in fact, weight loss.
Hmm.
So for a lot of people, that's a good thing. But it's Ozempic is not actually classified as a weight loss medication because, as I just said, it's indicated for the treatment of type 2 diabetes. But research indicates that those who take this drug may experience some weight loss. So how it works is like this. The drug works by mimicking a naturally occurring hormone. As these hormone levels rise, the molecules go to the brain, telling it
Hmm.
that you're full. It also slows the digestion by increasing the time it takes for the food to leave the body. And it's a similar effect to that of bariatric surgery. However, get this, Ozempic has been said to be an ineffective treatment long term. So in January, several Ozempic users claimed they stopped taking the drug and ended up regaining more weight than they lost. So what I want to talk about really is this phenomenon called that people refer to as Ozempic face. So Ozempic face is essentially the same characteristics that we see when patients have a rapid or rapid weight loss, basically.
Hmm. Hmm.
So the Ozempic face term is referring to side effects that comes with sunken eyes, gaunt cheeks, saggy skin, often making the Ozempic user appear older and more deflated. So it can cause rapid weight loss, and it's more often pronounced in the face. So, and of course, facial fat serves as a protective function and affects facial aesthetics and elasticity. So weight loss can cause dermatological changes and shrinking because the fat that stretches and cushions the skin is no longer in place. So for those of you who are thinking about taking Ozempic strictly for weight loss, something to consider.
Hmm.
That's it for
And
me.
for those, no, that's really interesting and concerning. So I've heard of a lot of
Yeah.
people taking it for weight loss, and for
Well,
those of you looking at,
a lot of celebrities are now taking this,
yeah,
right? So a lot of
that's
people
right.
are now seeing celebrities talking about taking Ozempic, and I think it's also under the brand name Wegovy as well.
Okay.
Um, and of course they're seeing, oh yeah, they're losing all this weight. I'd like to go and have the same thing done, but there's always side effects to
Oh,
these.
for sure, for sure. And for those that are of you looking at me on your screen and seeing that I look somewhat deflated with some loose skin, I can assure you I have not been taking Ozempic. This is a natural result of living in the tropics most of my life,
Peter.
and the sun. So I've got a health one today as well that I picked up, and I find it very interesting because I think most of our audience knows my thoughts on COVID and vaccinations and the jab and all that sort of thing. AstraZeneca have withdrawn their COVID jab
Heard it.
worldwide,
Yes.
and there's been 84 deaths. I'm not sure, was that worldwide or was that just in England? I know there was a number of deaths and many more injuries in England. So that's one of them that they have acknowledged that it's harmful and it's been withdrawn. So there we go. And that's about it from me, except we've got a lot of very interesting guests coming up, a whole stable of them. So make sure you don't miss out on them. Hop onto our website, theyakkingshow.com. Hit the purple button on the homepage and sign up for our newsletter. We'll only send you one email a week and just tell you who's on this week and who's coming next week, and a book recommendation. And by the way, we mention that Fane Frey has a book on anti-aging, the myth of anti-aging creams, something like that. And our author next week also has a book. We'll talk about that one next week, though. That's it from me. Back to you, Kathleen.
Right. And Peter, we must say that we're always looking for very high caliber experts on this show that are experts in the field of health and personal development. So if you think you're one of those, we would love to hear from you. All you have to do is go to theyakkingshow.com, click on the contacts tab, and fill out a short application form. We'd love to hear from you. Yes, Peter.
I've got an addition to that. We also had 2 episodes recently on near-death experiences, and those have been very popular. So if you have had a near-death experience or you know someone who has, we'd love to have you on the show to talk about that.
Oh my goodness, yes, I'm absolutely fascinated with this topic ever since that we've interviewed DJ Kadagian. So
Hmm.
yes, so that's it from us. So until next week, take care, everyone. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.